in Corry that as things start opening up from the 19th of July, an awful lot of the people who had staycations in Ireland last year and who may already have booked them for this year will instead decide to go abroad?
It's unlikely we'll see diversions. There's a couple of things going on here. People are looking at the prices in Ireland. It's artificially skewed by the fact that the demand is so high and the supply is reduced. As Niall says, a lot of people considering whether they're opening, training staff, all of that. The second thing is we are drowning in vouchers from last year. A lot of people have transferred the money forward. So they're all looking at what the options are. The options are great. August, we've got a huge inventory of flights. We've got 4 destinations we didn't have in 2019. We've got the routes, we've got the frequencies. The real problem is this hesitancy on the part of the government to join what's happening in the rest of Europe, and also the sense that everything could change in a weekend. The sort of things we saw in the home holiday market last year when three counties were locked down in the middle of July and Donegal got locked down in the middle of their season. So the uncertainty is what's stalking and haunting both the outbound and the home holiday business.
A Oireachtas committee today heard testimony in relation to the use of antigen testing. Quite a lot of criticism of the CMO Tony Holohan, particularly from Harvard professor Michael Mina, suggesting that antigen testing is a lot better than the Irish authorities seem to believe.
There's a scepticism about antigen testing, very strong here. We saw a tweet comparing it with snake oil at one stage. Antigen is very strongly, highly regarded in a lot of Northern European countries. Spain and Portugal have both opted to take antigen as well as PCR. Spain in this week. I suspect, like all of these things, the whole debate moves on within the medical sector, within the published journals, and that we will probably come around to a higher regard of antigen. But you're absolutely right. We are the antigen sceptics of Europe as it stands.
Okay, do European holiday destinations want the Irish coming to them?
Absolutely. We're one of the biggest inbound markets. We're the highest spend per head of the European nations, with the exception probably of 2 of the Scandinavian countries. If you were to look at our population versus our outbound trips in 2019, our last normal year, the only country that travels more per head than the Irish is Norway. So we've got this reputation of being good tourists. We spend well, we behave, and we're the sort of cultural tourists. We're familiar with places like Spain. We spread out into the eco-resorts and into the sites that they want us to go to. And we are adventurous. We end up not just in Malaga, we end up in Extremadura as well, and Asturias and places like that. So they really want us back, and they're watching the hesitancy on behalf of the Irish government. The people like the Irish ambassador in Madrid is, collating all the time with the Spanish government. Pedro Sanchez, the Spanish Prime Minister, learned his English in Ireland. He speaks with that sort of Irish idiom. They're all watching what is happening in Ireland. They're anxious to get us, and the routes are in place.
And are the prices for accommodation and for flights going to be fair?
Yes. There are 2 scenarios playing out. The demand will drive the price of flights. We could end up with a situation where our biggest low-cost airline, Ryanair, throws a lot of very good low fares in to stimulate demand if they don't see demand there. There's a little bit of a problem on the hotel side. It's going to be more expensive. And there is a third issue, that if we delay our return to the market, that bigger markets like Germany will already be there. Germany opened the Balearics quite early. Portugal opened on May the 17th.
So other countries have got in ahead of us. Something I mentioned to Niall about American tourists to Ireland who are so important. The US is still saying don't fly to Ireland. So can we rule out Ireland as a destination for American tourists from the rest of the year? And what's that going to do then for flights for the future?
The flights to America that we have are down to basically what they were there in our childhood: Chicago, New York and Boston. Very, very minimal service, where it used to be one of the best served countries for direct North American flights. What we will probably see is a little bit of pressure on that. Europe is number one. We're going to get Europe moving from July the 1st, July the 19th. Vaccinated Europeans will be welcomed in Ireland. Ursula von der Leyen has already said that vaccinated Americans will be welcomed in Europe. So there will be a discussion to try and get some sort of bubble going between the USA and Ireland, they're very anxious to come here, very high rate of vaccination, and the age group that comes to Ireland is almost certainly vaccinated. So it's back again to that hesitancy on the behalf of our government. They've been very silent on any of their plans for the likes of Niall looking for a roadmap, and for the people in aviation trying to plan a schedule. What is going to be the position after July the 19th? Will Americans be welcomed the way Europeans are? There's no reason why not, except we have to watch developments and quick changes.
Very brief final one. How confident should we be that the digital green certs are going to work?
Digital green certs, the technology is awesome. Nothing happens fast at European level. They brought this in very, very quickly. The aviation sector, we were looking at 17 models last October. They've decided on it. It's on your mobile phone. It's the equivalent of scanning in your boarding pass. And there are 7 countries already using them, and they are working, Matt.
That's good news. Hopefully it'll allow some of us to get away on a holiday this summer. That's all we have time for tonight. Our thanks to Niall O'Callaghan and Eoghan Corry in that section, and to all of our earlier guests for joining us. Don't forget, the Tonight Show is available as a podcast wherever you subscribe. I'll be back on radio on Today FM tomorrow afternoon. But for now, thank you very much for watching.